And so they have obtained both the vacuum tube, the plastic, well, although technically I guess that there goes complete cleanliness, as well as the gold wire. Then don't forget, support Parsec if you haven't already. A very good streaming gaming site. Now, hi for those who are watching, the Angry Anime Fan here to bring you Dr. Stone Chapter 58. Felt a little bit like a slow chapter, but that doesn't mean this chapter was bad. No, on the contrary, it actually was a very heartwarming chapter. And I like heartwarming chapters. It's just though I only have one question, but if I remember it, I'll save it until later. First of all, in this chapter, as they have everything now, they can now start to make the cell phone. And Senku gives them a rough idea on how it works. He describes the vacuum tube as the heart of the cell phone, the plastic as the skeleton of the phone, and the gold wiring as the nerves. If they gather all these three body parts, and the main unit of the cell phone will be complete. And then I guess they have to fuse it all together some way. So, well, either way, Senku, however, says to Old Man Kazuki that in order to completely make a vacuum tube with no vacuum, they have to make an extremely difficult pump called a Hickman pump. The way he describes it is similar to a vacuum cleaner commercial. Something like it provides a whole another section power, basically a suction pump level 10 billion. Saying that a vacuum tube is made by removing as much air as possible. The simple prototype pumps we have made previously for creating the light bulbs are only level 1. So this will be an advanced one. While Kazuki looks like he is down as Ashiguro again pulls his mentalist stuff. Turns out Kazuki is not done yet. After all, he is a craftsman, and for him, the more difficult things are, the more excited he gets, so he can push his boundaries, so to speak. So instead, he only wonders if he can do the same thing Chrome did. You know, the high five. So Senku concedes and does the high five, leaving it to him. As everyone notices, except Chrome and Ginro, that he did that because he didn't want to bother Senku with that. Being inspired by that, Suka asks while blushing that if the Team Kids could also do that, since she seems to be the leader of Team Kids. Actually, a little bit, well, it's not official leader, but seeing that she was the first kid that, of the children that befriended Senku and became one of his most trusted allies, I think we could say Team Kids leader is Suka. Although I've actually wondered if Suka was an outcast because of everything. Well, either way, she asked while blushing if she also could get a high five and leave them all to that. With a new encouragement, Suka says that all of the kids will do that, and the kids happily agree. A little bit surprising, but I guess the kids really have been immense of all this. So Chrome and Senku will focus on making plastic, which, by the way, is a little bit too bad. I mean, I know they must have that in order to make the cell phone, but you all know plastic doesn't necessarily vanish in the environment. Now when I think about it, if this was 5,000 in the future, would plastic actually have been broken down or would it still exist? I mean, I don't know. Then again, it's a primitive world, so even if the plastic haven't been broken down, where could you possibly find it? So of course they have to make their own. So yeah, they start to do that, although Chrome is not exactly sure on how it works by heating things up and heating all over things again. Senku saying it's to reconstruct the addition removal of various components, and they even made formalin. However, the winter is beginning to take its toll on the gold wiring team. As they sit outside and wire the gold things together, they're starting to get cold. And here is one of them, the more heartwarming thing is that everyone is high-fiving each other and leaving it to them. But this one scene here is incredibly heartwarming. As Senku and Chrome look at each other, we later see that Team Chrome science, mineral exhibition team consists of magma, Kohaku, and for some reason Ginro gathered stuff. Later on, the team of science have actually managed to create a stove that is warm inside, meaning that the team of kids and elderly can sit inside and wire now and not worry about freezing their hands off. Because there seems to have been many deaths in cold before, which is not that surprising. The one thing I will complain about this is, wait, when did they get the time to create a stove? I mean, maybe it was part of their mission because Senku says all we need out of this is the cinders. So maybe making the stove was uh, both thing. He needed both of them for the plastic thing, and he did everyone a favor at the same time. He seems to have added that all across the village. Well, that's Senku for you. Always have many things else, but still very kind. And even the villager, the former village leader, Kyaku or whatever, saying that slowly the village is changing, and that's the power of science. So he acknowledges that making Senku the leader of Ishigami village was not a mistake. Elsewhere, final after Ashiguro Gin have helped with the advanced thing, Ashiguro Gin gets a new job to create a manganese battery, and he is forced to make 800 of them. But Ruri says she will help. And slowly the team comes together as the vacuum tube is complete, plastic is all clear, and electro wiring is all clear as well. And with that, the main unit of the cell phone is complete as well. With that, is the cell phone officially complete now, or is everything gathered together to make the cell phone complete now? Because there's actually just one single complaining thing I have about this, and that is, I mean, it's not complaining that they have gathered all the stuff to make the cell phone. That is actually very incredible and amazing. What I meant to say is, how big is this cell phone going to be? That's my question. I mean, is it really gonna be a miniature cell phone, or is it gonna be a very giant, like, walkie-talkie? I mean, don't forget this is the Stone Age, so I don't really think the people there can make anything small. So how will they make it? Or have they just created the electrical current that can charge the cell phone? I'm a little bit unsure exactly, because here we see the radio waves are acquired, probably meaning that with this they can now tap into radio and stuff like that. They still need to have the little phones, you know, so are they gonna be big or small? Who knows, but the team is slowly getting there. They are slowly getting there. Will they get another speed bump? Especially if cell phones gonna be big or not, who knows. But yeah, this was a heartwarming chapter. But the fact that everyone was high-fiving each other, the kids were all looking forward to helping, and also that Senkum and Chrome built stove inside the people that is all warm. Seeing them all enjoying that warmth was also very heartwarming. And even the former village elder says it was not a mistake to make Senku the chief. Meaning that, yeah, none of them here is gonna betray Senku for everything else here. Still though, it's still winter though. It's far from over yet. But now that they have acquired that, what's they gonna acquire next? I don't know, I'm not a scientist. So you give me your thoughts if you have any.